Hi, it's me, Betty, joyfully raw, lighten up your life on raw and living foods. Today I will cover some of the things that I did yesterday or in the first video, emotions, raw emotions revealed one, so that you can get that information. And um, I will add a little bit. Just one thing, different times of year, a lot of people that are raw are around a whole lot of food or I think a big piece of it too is that we are around family. Oh, when we're around family, it's like it digs up all our stuff. You're with the people who know who you were because we change and grow all the time. They know where you came from, and somehow they keep you in that little place, and that's where you always will be. And so when they are a certain way with you, like as if you're still in the playpen with them or whatever, you kind of become a certain way. It's almost like you don't like who you are when you're with them because you're a grown up now, and you have all this life experience with you since you left those people. How wonderful they are, right? Aw, what would we do without our family? Definitely a whole lot of emotionalism going on there. So um, that's a big piece of that too. Hopefully this video will be clearer today for you, and you will be able to pick up some points about raw emotions and how the way we eat now really brings that all to the fore and and makes them pretty intense sometimes. And I added some different ways that we can handle these kinds of things constructively too. So yay! Enjoy the video today. So, anyways, continuing this thought about raw emotions that we've been talking about. It seems that those of us who live on these energetic, raw, whole foods are basically in a continual cleansing process. Our bodies are continually taking out all the old toxins and everything that our bodies have stored up for all these years. And when you do that, there's no way that we're not going to touch on the emotions that have been stored up in our bodies. Because did you know, I'm sure you know, everything that has ever happened in your life that was an event, was a happening physically to your body, went through your brain, mentally, emotionally, everything. It is all stored in your body. Unlike our brains, our bodies remember everything that has ever happened. And this is one of the challenges, one of the biggest challenges, in fact, that I've found on raw and living foods are handling the emotional aspects of it and working out the things that are involved with dealing with raw emotions. So I think it's very important to talk about. I think my kitty has emotions too. Say hi. Say hi. Oh, she's such a sweetheart. Yay, we're on TV. Woohoo, we're on TV. Woo. She definitely helps. This kitty, you don't know how much animals know or think or feel or whatever. But if I'm ever sad or even laughing, she comes over to make sure that I'm not crying or something. It's so funny. And if I'm crying, I'm not really up for kitties licking my face, but she will try to lick my face. And so she handles my emotions very well. She's pretty cool. Animals really rock, I tell you. So back to the idea of the raw emotions. So you've heard it mentioned about the layers of an onion and how our healing is much like that. Well, that's what I was saying. Like our body has all these layers of emotions and thoughts and feelings and the whole thing all inside. And when we start taking these layers down one by one, or sometimes a whole lot quicker if we're on this raw and living foods program, things come to the fore pretty readily. And a lot of folks, it's a new thing for them, and without constructive ways to deal with them, Um, they tend to maybe be drawn towards the cooked foods because the cooked foods, um, numb the feelings out and help them to stuff them back down. So that's one of the reasons I compare it to a gear running really, really high speed. The energy of raw living foods, and sometimes it just gets so intense, and we feel so much, and we're so out there, and we're so vulnerable, and we're so raw. So all of a sudden, you throw some cooked food in, a loaf of bread or something. Ugh, chugs the gears right down, slows them right down. So then here you are on an energy level up here, and then it brings your energy level down here, which unfortunately, we feel like that's going to help us somehow. Like, oh, I'm not feeling what I was feeling up here. So now, really, temporarily you might feel a little better, you might feel a little worse, I don't know. But down here, then you end up actually feeling worse because now you have that food in there for your body to deal with. And in my experience, it doesn't help. It really doesn't help because you were feeling emotionally intense up here, and now you're down here, and you really have no energy to deal with the emotions that you're feeling. Not a good thing. So I've always said, I go and make myself a big green juice because that maintains the energy up here, keeps me on those good living foods, yet it keeps me calm and happy. But then you hear people say, "Oh, I messed up. I fell off the wagon. I'm beating myself up," and all these different things. Well, really, is that so? No, it's not so. And it's up and down and all around sometimes. Yet it keeps you going on the raw path. It does serve its purpose. Rather than looking at it as something that's wrong here, perhaps you could look at it as something that's all part of the process. The key is, of course, the old proverbial get back on the horse. Get right up, get on your next raw meal, eat your next raw meal the next time you're hungry. So there's no failure. You're still raw, you're still going on, you're still reaping all the benefits you've had all this time, whether it be a short time on raw or a long time. You're still on your raw path, your raw journey, and you are doing phenomenally. So the mention of constructive ways to deal with these emotions. One of the best ways I found is to whatever your passion is for exercise. Do those two words go together? I don't know. I hope so. But if not, make it work. Make it work. Make it happen. Go out and just really bust it out. Really bust it out. Whatever it is, really exert yourself energetically. So, and the other thing, of course, is get it outside of your body. If you can't get it outside of your mind, you can. One of the ways you can do this is painting, drawing, creating, whatever you get lost in. And another way to get it outside of yourself is to share with a trusted friend, not seeking advice or looking for anything, but just having someone listen. On the subject of raw emotions, really what there is to do is give yourself a big hug, honor yourself in these emotions. They're not wrong or bad, they just are. However you deal with them in a constructive way is just fine. And we really have the best eating program on the planet. And for that we can be so grateful because we can just imagine how all the other folks feel on the eating plans that they're on. Imagine if you had all that to deal with too. We are so, so blessed. So keep living on raw and living whole foods, and your life will rock like you will not imagine. Bye-bye.